Hi everyone, we are on day 24 of the 31-day spiritual upgrade. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, the sun is shining. It is the most magnificent day, and today is a real simple concept. It's about reframing the past, making the future brighter. My brain's going so fast. Making the past brighter so the future is bigger. We get to reframe all of the things that have happened to us, that have happened for us. We get to reframe them, because the truth is, we quite often define our past, which defines the now, by coming into our feelings. I felt a certain way. I made a meaning about something. If you're jumping on, come and say hello. This is a real quickie today. I've got podcast interviews and all sorts of things happening. So where are we defining our past, and where is that playing a role in our now and in our future? So I've talked a lot about future self concepts in the spiritual upgrade, because the truth is, whoever you want to be, or whatever your dreams and desires are, we've got to step into that. And we've got this little thing in the past that holds us. Hey Molly, so good to see you. So we've got this little thing in the past that holds us back, and it's usually us defining and making meaning about the things that have happened to us. Now, how do you have 5 different siblings, or even 2 different siblings, that have had the same experience, the same upbringing? One of them is so grateful, and the other one is blaming their upbringing on their now self. Makes a big difference, right? So I'm going to repeat that. So how can you have siblings that have had the same upbringing, the same parents, the same rules, and one of them is like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for the lessons, I'm so grateful what has happened for me in my life, because it's helped me have this bright future, it's helped me have a big future, it's helped me to really have the audacity to know what I want and what I don't want. And then another sibling can be like, well, I was screwed up because I was brought up in poverty, and my parents were this and my parents were that. And who's going to have the bigger, brighter future? So often we get stuck. Oh, hey Donna, hey Emma. If you're jumping on, make sure you say hello. Hashtag replay if you're on a replay. We're going to be here for a nice and short and sweet challenge today. So I can't believe we're on day 24. Like, I don't want this to end. This is the last freaking week. This is basically, we're on the last week, but it's not over, because I have something else in store for you. I can't wait to announce it today. I'm trying to announce it today. Depends on how fast my team gets the things up and running. Hey Sarah! So, I noticed there's a big difference between my identity of how I was able to reframe my past. So I used to be like, I'm broke, I'm this, I'm that, etc., etc. I haven't had the opportunities that other people have had in their lives. My parents did A, B, and C. We can pick apart anyone or anything or any situation if we want to. And one day I took this this deep dive into myself, and I was like, is this serving me? If having points of views about my upbringing and not having a silver spoon, or having a lot of children in my family and not being able to have the one-on-one time with my mum and dad that I wanted, I made meaning to it. I made it a part of my identity, and I started even getting a little bit bitter. I know when my sister was born, when I was 2 3/4, nearly 3, apparently I was pretty bitter about that too. And I was like, that baby woke me up. How dare you interrupt a projector's sleep? I was like, that baby woke me up. I had times when I really was jealous that my sister was getting my parents' attention, and there was times where I was like, it's not just me anymore getting all the attention, because I was the first child. My sister was getting it, and then my mum had another child, and then another one, and then another one, and I got to make meaning of, my parents had siblings, so I had friends, I had best friends. I got to learn skills of helping to raise children of, oh goodness, that was my dog shaking, it freaked me out. I was able to know what it was like to share. I know what it's like to make a meal for a whole lot of people, and I certainly know how to do dishes, right? I know how to be a support person for my mum. So, hey Kelly! Yeah, that glass half empty or half full, and it makes such a difference. So I'm just going to repeat what I said. If you've got siblings and one of them is like, F my life, because I was brought up A, B, C, and D, and my parents were this, and my school teacher did this, and we could all sit there and literally pick apart our lives and make sense, because no one's going to tell you wrong. No one's going to say, yeah, you're wrong, or they're going to make you right. They're going to say, you're right. Yeah. Go to a counselor. Yeah, you're right. That was really traumatizing. Yeah. Let's dive into this. Let's make meaning about this. You're so screwed up because of your past. You can have one sibling that does that, or you could literally have the other sibling who's like, yeah, mum and dad didn't have a lot of money. Yeah, there's a lot of kids. But what was so good about that? It all happened for me. And when I start asking and saying, this all happened for me. We all have a story, but as adults, we are the story, writer and main character. It is your responsibility to reframe and to see, this is the reframe. It's all happened and happening for me, for my soul, for my spirit, for my evolution. It has all happened for me, for my human, because this human knows what it's like to struggle. Every single human knows what it's like to struggle. We are meant to evolve beyond the generation that we're brought up in, right? The generation that brought us up, we're meant to evolve beyond that. And I really hope that my children come back to me and say, damn, Mum, can't believe you did that. And I'll be like, I'm sorry, I didn't know any different, So we get to reframe our future and say, the universe did this for me, and I am so grateful because I can see the gaps in where my parents could have potentially added more in or given me more time or whatever, and I'm pretty sure my kids are going to tell me that there's been a few gaps, maybe already, right? Because I'm not perfect, no one is. So reframing it now, if you have been hurt, if you feel like you've been used or rejected, maybe you've had like a weight problem your whole life, or maybe it's where you've felt like sluggish, or maybe you've had some type of autoimmune, or maybe you've had a disease, we've all got a story, every single one of us. And in my membership the other day, we did this Tonglen Tantra activation meditation, and we were connecting with all the people in the world that have the same experience of us, whether it's a sore shoulder, whether it's being bullied, whether it's having headaches, whether it's having a disease in our body, and we're not alone. We are never ever alone. And one of the things I'm doing now with completely reframing my whole life, so then my past is brighter and my future is bigger, is I'm like, it's no skin off anybody else's nose. My traumas and my dramas are no skin off anybody else's nose, unless I make it an issue and I start dumping on them, which I totally don't recommend doing, right? Go see a counselor or a psychologist who can hold that space. But the biggest thing is instead of kind of complaining that I didn't have enough one-to-one time with my parents, I just go, come and stay with me, Mum and Dad, and then I have one-on-one time with them because now I'm an adult. Instead of complaining that I was brought up with just having enough, and that was the theme throughout my whole life, just having enough, until I reframed it. I'm like, I know how to survive off the smell of an oily rag. I know, if I had to, I would grow a garden. My mum taught me how to garden. My dad taught me how to fish and get tuatuas, which is a shellfish in New Zealand. I've been taught how to, hey, can I have some of your milk and here's some sugar? I wasn't brought up with a silver spoon, and I'm so grateful because I can connect with everybody. I can connect with people that have got money because I know how to make money. I can connect with people that are literally they live literally really, really frugally. I really respect that because sometimes people have got bigger and better plans with their money. I was raised with 3 sisters, and one of them was my twin. I never realized until recently I stayed hidden in the background of my life. I'm finally learning, yeah, exactly. I used to be a victim energy such a long time. Now I see it such a gift, because we cannot have a bright, beautiful future unless we're investing the time into ourselves, the energy into ourselves to reframe. And we're not here to do it alone. And this is why in the membership I did this Tonglen Tantra meditation, and it was amazing, and everyone was kind of in tears because they're like, whoa, there's all these people around the world that are suffering the same thing I've suffered, or I am suffering, so we're not actually alone in this. So reframing, I just want to kind of wrap this up with a bow. Reframing, the world is happening for you. When you're feeling in a wave, when you're feeling like you're getting attacked, when you're feeling like the past is coming up, yes, there's been this huge full moon, this full moon has been gnarly, it's all happening for you. It's that simple. So even like my husband's got a sore neck right now, he needs to go to a chiropractor. I'm like, this is happening for you, because you need to know how to create more balance, to lubricant your body by using more movement. So we had to talk about that. So if I get a headache or something happens, this is happening for me. What can I do to rectify this to make sure this doesn't happen again? Because it's happening for me, right? Thank you, Erin. I do like my orange. Okay, my loves, I just wanted to bring this into day 24 because we haven't talked about this in depth, and I wanted to just drop this seed because I think some of us can go into victim mode 3,000 to 3,000 times, maybe 30,000 times a day, because we are diving into feelings from the past, feelings that we made meaning, we created meaning to those feelings, and then it became a part of our identity. But that's very much a fixed mindset, and a growth mindset is like, wow, would my future self, I was talking to Luke about this in our little personal meeting this morning, would my future self be agreeance of this behavior? And what I said to Luke was, your 50-year-old self, because he's, I think he just turned 42, your 50-year-old self will be moving, will be lubricating his body, will be creating, he just loves working in the back end of the awakened community and creating things all the time, all day long, and serving his family. But I'm like, your 50-year-old self needs to serve himself, not just his family and not just his business, right? So how are we going to go into a mindset, a growth mindset, which is this in alignment with my future self? So when I get up at 5 a.m. and I go to the gym and I do my journaling like super early, and I go to bed at like 8:39 at night, I'm like, this is in a total agreement with my future self. But sleeping in, drinking coffee all day, being lazy, not accomplishing anything, and really just diving into my past and feeling sorry for myself is very fixed, right? So fixed mindset, growth mindset, living for the future, not the past, and also really tapping into the energy of, this is happening for me, reframing. Lots of love. See you guys soon.